Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today to start off now the second node in Dark Dimension 7, utilizing the exact same 5 characters that I've been using. This synergy has been working exceptionally well for myself, and in the last node, we took care of it in 3 attacks. Now let's see how we do, starting now with the second node. Now with this team, the amount of crowd controlling has been exceptional, just because we have Black Knight, Robbie, we have Vulture with the turn meter, and on top of that, Super Scroll having that offensive output, but as well being able to also control the enemies. Now thankfully with the last node, when we wrap things up, our cooldowns weren't amazing, but we're in a pretty good spot here because we can start things off here right from the get-go utilizing Vulture with the offense down. So guys, make sure in the beginning here you're using some sort of ability block on Spider Weaver on that far left corner. She can actually be very, very dangerous in this node. But the other thing too is being mindful of the big time Spider-Man. I found that he hit like an absolute truck, so that's why we also ability blocked him here, adding that exposure, so every time we're attacking an enemy, we're going to be also doing damage across the board AoE. So what I recommend is using Apocalypse if you guys have him to aim for Weaver. As you can see, wasn't able to take her down in just one shot, but we're very close with all the bleeds, and now we are going to be going down the middle here and just trying to target as many enemies as we can. Black Knight, he doesn't do a lot of damage from his attacks, but his retaliation is really what helps, and especially inflicting the trauma and the debuffs, it's been exceptional. And this is now a great position. Look at all these debuffs on the enemies. We got bleeds, we got the Spider Weaver almost taken care of, and now we're just doing work. We're just trying to make sure that we are being mindful of our cooldowns. But this is what I also really appreciate about Apocalypse, is that you can see my Black Knight is pretty weakened right now. So we're kind of surveying and taking a look here. I recommend using the special here to kind of control another enemy, and that way you can actually get some HP and regen back. Boom, just like that, already 2 enemies taken care of. So we're doing really good already in this first attack. But again, this second node isn't anything crazy like the first one we saw, where we had that Nova that we were dealing with, and thankfully now that Spider Weaver's taken care of. Now after 2 enemies, you're going to see very shortly here, it actually does spawn a couple of Cravens in addition to zombie jugs. So that's why it was great that in our Super Scroll right now, we have a great position to actually use his ultimate. But I'm also watching the HP of my team, because if you know that the wave is coming here, you always want to anticipate if your team is going to wipe, and that's kind of what I did there. I didn't know what to expect just yet. I'm pretty happy with this decision, because you'll see pretty shortly here, we don't really need Super Scroll's ultimate when we're controlling these enemies for the time being. So doing our thing, applying debuffs, but as well at the same time controlling what we can. And remember, you never really want to leave your characters in a position where if they're taken care of, if they fall accidentally, you're not building up energy for 2 attacks. You always want to make sure you're almost pausing in between every other attack, between the special and the ultimate, so that way you're always going to be ready to go here. For example, our Robbie got taken care of already, and now another wave of enemies do spawn. So then now this would be a good time to use the ultimate, because now we can hit more enemies, more debuffs, right? And although Robbie was taken care of, unfortunately, we're in a good position here now to take care of some enemies in the meantime, especially the work we've done on that first wave. Something to be also mindful of in this wave is now that we're seeing the synergies of Hela. Hela's obviously going to have value for characters like zombie jugs, but so making sure that you're focusing on her. And now, because we know that these enemies are likely going to finish us off, we're being very mindful of our cooldowns. So you don't always want to use your abilities when you can, but in this moment here, if we can see that there's turn meter to be had, especially with Scroll being able to rewind that, we see that 4 or 5 of these enemies are almost finished off. We just want to be doing as much damage now as possible just to clean this up. So right away, the first attack, 11 enemies taken care of. We're doing really good here right now in this first attack on node 2, and that spawned even more enemies. But now you see here that there's a zombie Iron Man in addition to zombie Jug. So now Hela's an immediate focus, and that's kind of why we made sure that we have the special on her, so that way the exposure's there. Now we're just doing damage over time, and surprisingly my team is still surviving despite the fact that Robbie fell really early. This 4-piece tandem is doing some amazing progress, even though many of our cooldowns like Apocalypse wasn't that useful because they've already been taken care of. Scroll goes down, so now we know this basically triggers defense position mindset, right? Now we're just trying to build up energy again and trying to burn as many attacks as we can. Emma Frost wasting the special dare to cleanse, and now we're just trying to do as much damage as possible, especially knowing now that Hell is taken care of. Zombie Jugs is pretty weak, and now we can just target. I recommend Zombie Iron Man just because he's got that mind control ability to utilize our allies against us, so you can target him as much as possible, and even better, wasting some abilities here of our enemies, especially Spire Slayer, Zombie Jugs. Really good time to do that. So there you guys have it here. That's the first attack here from Node 2. I think it's really good. We're gonna keep it obviously here as you see on recording, and as well, like this definitely feels easier than the last node, and we had some really good cooldowns to start with, so that's how we were able to get this done. So there you guys have it. First attack, over 300 million damage. I'll keep you guys up to date on the next one. Thank you for following along, and see you guys next time.